It's time to talk about one of the best players in the 2025 NFL draft. That is running back Ashton Jeanty from Boise State. Not only is he easily the best running back in this year's draft, he's easily one of the best players in this year's draft, but didn't always look that way for him, growing up. He was a guy who went to Italy with his family because his dad was in the military, played a lot in Italy, then he moved over to Texas, played a lot of defense as a sophomore, played a lot of wide receiver as a junior. So he was kind of lightly recruited because he didn't really play running back full time until he was a senior in high school. He was the number 63 running back out of high school in the recruiting rankings. He immediately showed that those recruiting rankings were wrong. Earned an 89.5 PFF grade in his true freshman season with the Boise State Broncos. That was the best of any true freshman on offense in college football that year. His second year, he was the best running back arguably in college football with a 94.9 PFF grade, the best in the nation, the only running back in college football with 90 plus grades as both a receiver and as a rusher, and he saved his best for last as a junior. Incredible year, one of the best years we've ever seen, from a basic stats to advanced stats to everything. He was the best running back in America, won the Doak Walker Award, came in second place for the Heisman Trophy as well. 2,601 rushing yards, only 27 away from Barry Sanders' record, 29 rushing touchdowns, 96.6 rushing grade, the best in the PFF college era, and that dates all the way back to 2014. The previous best was 96.2 from Blake Corum back in 2022. 1,970 rushing yards after contact. That was 615 more than the previous record, which is held by Jonathan Taylor. 151 broken tackles on runs this year, 47 more than the previous record, which was Bijan Robinson back in 2022. So Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Blake Corum, some of the best running backs we've seen in college football in recent memory, and yet their previous PFF college records stood no chance against Ashton Jeanty. What was really impressive, and what I think people kind of forgot about Ashton Jeanty this year at least, he's the best receiving back in college football. And he showed that a lot, like I said before, as a true sophomore when he had a 90-plus receiving grade. He had over 500 receiving yards as a sophomore back in 2023. He could truly do it all. And when you just look at his career in the grand scheme of things and what he's done at Boise State, it's incredible. A 99.2 career grade from PFF and a 99.9 rushing grade. Just for reference, we grade on a 0 to 100 scale. So Ashton Jeanty in his career, 99.9 rushing grade. Yes, that is 0.1 points off than the absolute maximum. Yes, he played in the Mountain West, but he's proven it against top competition as well. Did it against Oregon, played pretty well against Penn State. They were stacking the box a lot against him in that Fiesta Bowl, so maybe the raw numbers weren't as good as some of his other games, but he was breaking a lot of tackles. I believe he had like around 16 broken tackles in that Penn State game as well. Right now, he's the number 5 player on the PFF big board, and he could go in top 10 of the NFL draft. I think it's absolutely a possibility, which is saying a lot considering the devaluing of running backs in recent years. But with the prevalence of so many too high defenses now, running the ball has become more important than ever, honestly. You have to, go back to the 90s and the early 2000s where running backs have been this important. So it stands to reason that Ashton Jeanty is very, very much worth a first-round pick just based off talent and based off kind of where the NFL is heading a little bit with so many defenses scared to get beat over the top. If you have a guy like Ashton Jeanty that makes defenses commit more defenders in the box, it's a very, very valuable piece. It's rare for us on a PFF show to be arguing for a running back to be taken in the top 10 to 15 of an NFL draft, but you watch his tape over the last 3 years at Boise State, there's not a lot to hate. An incredible year for him, and any other year he would have run away from the Heisman Trophy, but Travis Hunter had just the greatest two-way season we've ever seen. But Jeanty, one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen from a running back, easily the best running back seasons we've seen in the PFF college era, dating all the way back to 2014. Like I said before, the previous records that were held by Bijan Robinson and Jonathan Taylor, some of the best running backs we have in the NFL, they were shattered by Ashton Jeanty, one of the best players in the NFL draft, Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty.